Hey everybody, how's it going? Christian from Treasure Town here, and I'm really excited. Today we're going to be talking about the 1969 coins worth money that you need to know about. Everybody talks about the 1969 S penny, and I'll be discussing that, but there's also like 6 or 7 more different coins from 1969 that have errors and abnormalities that are going to be worth more than their purchasing power. So you should know what to look for, also which coins don't have things where you don't need to be searching, and I'll take you to the presentation and give you the full overview on all the 1969 coins. We'll start with pennies, work our way up through the denominations. I think we've got nickels, dimes, quarters, and half dollars. I think all of those denominations are going to be covered, and let's get into the PowerPoint. And our first coin, as I said, we're going to be going in denomination of mint-mark order, is our 1969 Philadelphia penny. And there's some pretty clear spread actually here. You can definitely see the split in the N to the left, as well as in the W, in the O, in that "In God We Trust" lettering, I guess. And this one's not a majorly recognized one, but it's still spread apart enough where there is some value. I've seen AU50 floating at about $20 and Mint State 65 around 75. As a general rule, these prices, it'll be challenging to have them right on the money because they're not super established markets. They can kind of fluctuate. The next one is a 1969 D penny, and you're probably waiting for me to explain the major 1969 coin that's worth all the money that is in the thumbnail. But for now, I'm just going to show you this one, and you can see a little bit of a spread right there in the date, in that 9, and then a little bit up here in the 6. It's a slightly doubled coin, and again, the values reflect that, even a little bit less than the last one, maybe $15 in AU range, 60 for Mint State, just because it's not that pronounced. Now, this one, the next one, will blow your mind. It's the 1969 S penny, probably the most famous double die coin outside of maybe the 55 double die penny, but just all over the coin, extremely rare. The values really reflect that. I actually have a friend who found one, or he found one with a friend of his who got the coin, and it was worth about $10,000, $11,000, $12,000. It was in an AU range, and that's where that value is for the AU. $125,000 for a really good Mint State example, but the doubling is just so strong. This one, you'll see it if you have it, very clear throughout the coin. And here the B, it looks like there's just 4 holes. There's tons of spread all throughout the lettering. So that's really one that, if you're going to remember one coin from this video to look for, that would definitely be it. After that, we're going to go to one that's definitely not too well known, 1969 S nickel. And normally I don't do like proof set coins or that type of stuff, but in this case, the S mint nickel was actually made for circulation with the S mint mark, and there's a repunch mint mark on it. So you can see it's kind of underneath that S, and it also kind of has that spread in the middle bar. That's just kind of how that one works. AU50, $5, Mint State 65, $25. I could see the prices being higher than that because, again, if 2 people who want it, they'll probably bid it up because it's just so challenging to come by. But it's kind of a nice error that is pretty challenging. There's not too many resources talking about it, so this is a cool one to look out for. As we move along, there's the 1969 D dime, also a repunch mint mark. For the process, for those of you who are curious, they punch the mint mark separately from the lettering, so they do that at each, they punch it into the dies at each mint mark. Sometimes the first mint mark doesn't take, so they have to punch it again, hence the repunch mint mark. And yeah, here it did not take very well, but there still is that outline of a D to the top right of the coin, and it's not a super well-known coin. About $7 for AU50, $50 for Mint State 65, but it's a dime with the example. There's not as many repunch mint marks on dimes as there are pennies, which generally are even slightly less valuable than that. 1969 D quarter has one. This is a little bit more well recognized. I think that there's maybe a little bit more established history on these, but you can clearly see the spread right there to the left, as it protrudes from the main part of the quarter here. Also, same spot, but different repunching. Clearly, it was 2 different dies that were striking these coins, but just some interesting error coinage. Again, $25 AU50, $100 Mint State 65. And then in terms of the half dollar, which is our last error for today, this one is surprisingly not that valuable. It's a 40% silver coin anyways. They generally don't trade for too much more than that, except if they've got this error. One of them is a repunched mint mark on the Denver mint mark, but then there's also ones where there's a clear spread in the S. You can see the split serifs in the top corner, also a split in the bar of the T in United, And this one's going to be about a $10 coin in AU50 and a $40 one in Mint State 65. So a pretty achievable error if you can find somebody selling it. Definitely, if you have any of these errors when you go to sell, take clear photos of the coins. Get the ones that have an official FIVA Stanton FS number specifically, and certainly the 1969S. I'm not sure if there are any other ones in this list that have the FIVA Stanton designation, but definitely would get those certified. So anyways, thanks so much for watching, and I hope that this gives you a full, concise report on all the 1969 coins to look for. Thanks for watching the video. I'd encourage you to like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more content, and get in touch with me or contact on treasuretown.yt.com, my website, my Facebook, TreasureTown, my Twitter, @treasuretown_YT, or my Instagram, @treasuretownyt. Looking forward to seeing you on some of my other videos.